Hey guys, what's going on? I'm the self-described nerd. Today, I'm going to be breaking down the first teaser trailer for the final Conjuring movie, The Conjuring, The Last Rites. This is an interesting franchise to me because while a majority of the movies in this franchise, with the exception of 3, are not that great, every time a new entry comes out, I'm always down for some more. And with this being the last time we're going to see Vera Farmiga and Patrick Wilson as our Ed and Lorraine Warren, I'm definitely going to be checking this one out. And this trailer was actually pretty decent, so maybe this one will end up being good. But that's just enough for me. Let's jump right into the trailer starts with a look at the Warrens' house, with two figures approaching. This could possibly be Judy Warren and her new boyfriend, Tony. Judy is looking to take on more of an active role in the film, most likely stepping up her demonology game after the events of Annabelle Comes Home. Her boyfriend Tony will be tagging along to prove himself to the Warrens that he is good enough for Judy. We then move into the famous Warrens artifact room with Ed telling someone, "Don't touch anything. Everything you see in here is either haunted, cursed, or has been used in some sort of ritualistic practice." Based on how he's speaking as if the person has never entered the room before, I think it's most likely he's talking to Tony, and this is his first introduction to the darkness that lies in the room. Speaking of the darkness, we see close-ups of the Crooked Man's light box from Conjuring 2, the portrait of Valak, also from Conjuring 2, the samurai armor seen in Annabelle Comes Home, and the cup the occultist from the Conjuring 3 used. And of course, no trip to the Warrens Museum would be complete without an appearance from Annabelle, which we see her with Ed remarking, "Nothing's a toy, not even the toys." We then see the Warrens walking up to a neighborhood that has cops and people all around it. This could be them walking up and meeting the Smurls for the first time, or it could be part of the opening, with these movies usually opening up with the Warrens completing an unrelated case before they meet and help the main family. Tony then asks Ed, "How many cases do you guys have?" To which Ed replies, "Cases? Maybe 1,000. This is in reference to the real-life Warrens' famous joke that they had taken on 10,000 cases. During this, we see slideshows of footage containing video recorders, which are common throughout the series since Ed and Lorraine's job is to collect evidence for the Church of Hauntings in order to get permission for exorcisms. We also see these two young figures, which are actually young Ed and Lorraine Warren, so we will be getting flashbacks in this movie. Perhaps this is their way of continuing on the series with the Warrens without having Vera and Patrick present, but we'll see how good this one turns out. The trailer then reminds us that these are based on true events from the Warrens' case files, with the word "true" lingering just a second after. And now, while the truth behind these cases is up for discussion, this is probably just done to remind the audience that these are based on true events to increase the suspense. Next, we hear Ed saying, "Every case is different. Every family is different." Or shots of Jack Smurl getting ready for bed while the door opens all by itself. A staple of haunted house movies, and the Warrens sitting down with the Smurls at a fancy restaurant. Lorraine sees a hand resting on Janet Smurl's shoulder, and I'm assuming this is the same demon we see holding the doll later in the trailer. A light comes crashing down in the Smurl family home, most likely to show just how powerful this demon is. Next up, in my favorite moment from the trailer, we see this pretty creepy scene of the doll walking forward yelling, "Mommy, Mommy," until it abruptly stops, flips around, and sits up. This reminded me of the only scary scene from the first Annabelle movie, when Annabelle stands up all by herself, and then we get the reveal of Malthus holding her. Similarly, when the girl backs away, taking her eyes off the doll momentarily, when she looks back, she sees this creepy figure. Based on the caption saying "demonic laughing," I think it's safe to assume that this is the demon that is responsible for the haunting. She kind of reminds me of Bathsheba from the first movie, especially with her appearing to be going after the mother, so I'm wondering if maybe she could have something to do with Bathsheba, which would tie the movie full circle with the original. I wanted to briefly touch upon the real-life haunting that inspired the movie, because all these Conjuring films are based on true stories. So this one is based on the Smurl haunting, which is actually one of the creepiest haunted house stories I've ever read. I mean, it has your standard family moves into a new home, notices strange occurrences, bumps in the night, knocks, shadow figures, that kind of stuff. But where it actually gets really creepy is in the stories. It said that the Smurls were sexually abused and molested by the entity living in their house, which is something we've never seen in any of these movies. And with this movie emphasizing this is the darkest case that the Warrens have ever taken on, maybe this is why. According to the case file, the Warrens visited the Smurls and conducted a seance in which Lorraine discovered that there were 3 spirits living in the house that were being controlled by a demon that was forcing them to do terrible things to the family. This is similar to the plot of The Conjuring 2, with Valak controlling the spirit of Bill Wilkins, so we'll see how closely the movie follows the supposedly true story. We're then treated to a couple more quick shots of what looks like to be a talk show getting ready for air, the Warrens' first time walking into the house, someone going up into the attic, which is never a place you want to visit in these movies, and we get a shot of a creepy music box that looks like a carousel, and it's being used for some sort of creepy scene. We also hear the sound of this music box throughout the teaser, so I would not be surprised if this is the artifact that ends up in the Warrens Museum at the end of the movie. But what do you guys think? We then see a scene of Judy trying on a wedding dress with her slowly looking up at something in the mirror. The thing that caught my eye was this mannequin in the back. Maybe this is the reason why she seems so distressed. It is also possible that it could be the wedding dress itself, since there was a haunted wedding dress and Annabelle comes home that Daniela ends up putting on and gets possessed by the spirit of the bride. But the dresses look way different, so I doubt that this is the same dress. Lorraine asks for Ed over shots of someone levitating in their bed, a shot of Tony screaming in horror, one of the daughters backing away from something, and we also get a shot of this interesting figure who looks to be possessed. He reminds me of Arnie in The Conjuring 3 when he gets possessed, so perhaps this is another one of the family members getting possessed by one of the 3 spirits. Over a couple more shots, we hear Lorraine saying, "Something's changed, something's different." So what could she be referring to? Later at the end of the trailer, it makes it seem that whatever demon is causing this has been waiting for the Warrens. So perhaps this is what she's referring to, that the demon is not after the Smurls, but is hoping to lure the Warrens to them. But we'll see. Then we get a quick shot of Annabelle sitting up, which maybe implies that she's going to escape again, which I don't see how she could do this, but the directors did say in an interview that they originally envisioned this film as an Avengers Endgame style final battle with all the demons that Ed and Lorraine have fought in the past, so maybe Annabelle making her return is a holdover from this original idea. We also see Ed holding a burning Bible and looking down at it horrified. This is a common thing from these movies where the demons have an affinity for desecrating holy objects, like in Conjuring 2 when the crosses get turned upside down, or when the demons knock in threes to mock the Holy Trinity. We then see a shot of a rope getting cut and 2 figures falling because of it. My guess is that this is the result of a late night possession, where one of the Smurls wakes up to find the other possessed and hanging, and in order to try and get them down, the rope breaks, causing them both to go crashing down. We then see Lorraine dropping a locket into the sink, which is filled with blood. Now, I can't tell if this locket has Judy's picture or one of the Smurl's daughters in it, but we'll see. The sink then overflows with blood, filling the kitchen with blood. Perhaps this is done in an homage to The Shining and the blood elevators. We then get a couple more shots, one of a burning cross, which ties back into the whole demons enjoying desecrating holy objects. We also see Tony once again screaming, like, dude, if you want to get married to the Warrens' daughter, you gotta start getting used to this kind of stuff, because it is not going to be a fun marriage for you, my dude. We also see the members of the Smurl family cowering in fear. I'm assuming this is from the final climax of the movie when the ultimate forces of good and evil collide. They have the big exorcism in the end. We get the tagline of the movie, "Discover why this case was their last." Which, I mean, that's a pretty awesome tagline, I'm not going to lie. Major props to the marketing department for that one. We then get quick shots of this funeral with a long shot showing Lorraine and then a close-up shot of Ed. With this being one of the final Conjuring movies, we can expect some big deaths, possibly even one of the two Warrens themselves. So let me know in the comments if you think any of them are going to die in this movie. Personally, I don't think that they will. I think they're going to retire and ride off into the sunset. But I don't know whose funeral this could be. Perhaps someone from an old cage's file passes away. Or we could have a Brave New World situation on our hands where this funeral is in the final cut of the movie. But we'll see on September 5th. We then see even more quick shots of people reacting things in horror across their faces as things get turned upside down. And there's a doorknob that has a cross, again getting turned upside down. We see someone hanging in the attic, which, what did I just say? Do not go in the attic. And Ed performing an exorcism. We hear him in the background saying things like the power of our Lord Jesus Christ compels you, standard exorcism stuff. So I'm assuming this movie will end with the big exorcism of whatever evil is haunting the house. Finally, we come to the end of the trailer, in which Lorraine walks into one of the upstairs bedrooms and sees a demonic figure on the ground laughing. I'm assuming this is Janet Smurl, possessed by whatever demon is haunting the house. The demon seems to recognize Lorraine and comments that, "We've been waiting so patiently for you." Meaning that this demon wants the Warrens. They're not here for the Smurls and are just using them to lure the Warrens. This could either be a demon they had fought previously, like Bathsheba or Balak, or it could be a completely new demon who decided they wanted to kill the Warrens once and for all. Let me know down in the comments if you think this is a new demon or a returning one. The trailer ends with the demonic figure charging at Lorraine. She screams, and then the trailer cuts to the title card with only a brief shot of a tape recorder at the end. Overall, this is actually a pretty good trailer. I was already pretty hyped for this movie because I want to see how the Warren saga ends, but this trailer definitely got me even more hyped. It looks to be scary, and it definitely looks like a good conclusion of the series. And I'm really hoping that we can end the Warren story on a high note. I did just want to mention that this film is directed by Michael Chavez, who brought us The Nun 2, which was kind of meh, The Curse of La Llorona, which is my least favorite Conjuring movie, and The Conjuring 3, which was fine but super forgettable. So I'm a little hesitant based on the director, but maybe with this being his fourth Conjuring film, he maybe has learned from the mistakes of the past and is locked in to give us the ending to the series that we deserve. That was everything I found in the trailer for Conjuring: The Last Rites. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please give it a like and subscribe. It goes a long way for an up-and-coming creator like myself, so I very much appreciate it. I've been the Self-Described Nerd, and I'll see you guys later.